Hi, and welcome to 22.2 specific groups exercise prescription. In this, I'll be going over the various types of contraindications and how they may affect your ability to do certain exercises. A contraindication is something that can stop you from doing physical activity or maybe something that you have to keep in mind. And there's two different categories, and these are absolute and relative contraindications. Absolute contraindications are things that may cause serious harm to the participant or other people around them, and this would stop them completely from doing the activity, and that means that there's no adaptations that can be made, um, and they haven't, and it could be a temporary kind of form of contraindication as well as something, for example, like a broken leg. If you broke your leg, then you wouldn't be able to run for a couple of weeks out, but that's still an absolute contraindication, as it would just make it worse, or it just wouldn't work. It'd be too painful. On the other hand, a relative contraindication is something that could possibly harm themselves, but can be adapted in certain situations, um, or they just have to be mindful of this injury and have to be mindful that it may affect their performance, and could cause serious harm. But it can also be temporary, and adapted for the time being. For example, if you rolled your ankle, you may have to train a lot later than you used to. In this first group, I'm going to go over the contraindications some children may have. And one example of contraindication is asthma, and this could affect their physical activity, as if they exercise at high intensities, this may be dangerous to their health, and they could have an asthma attack. So one prescribed activity that they could be able to do would be table tennis, as it's a lot more low intensity than other sports. Some sports can still be played, but they have to be mindful of it and may have to use inhaler if needed, and they would always need it to stay safe. Another contraindication may be underdeveloped bones. As you age, you won't be able to. At first, you won't be able to do like full contact sports, as your bones could break and could cause them to be abnormally formed. And one sport that could be played would be non-contact rugby, as this is more safe, and they won't have to do collisions, as if they were fully grown and their muscles are fully developed. Diabetes is another form of contraindication, and this can affect exercise because of the blood sugar levels. And I think a well prescribed activity for this may be swimming, as it won't raise blood sugar too much and can be controlled and in a controlled setting. For obesity, this can affect performance, especially and make stuff quite hard for some people. For example, like yoga, for example, might be quite hard for someone that's obese, as they won't have a full range of motion. So, something that would be to help them lose body fat would be boxing, as it's high intensity and it's known for helping to lose body fat quite quickly. And then they would be able to do the yoga. My second group is elderly. A contraindication for the elderly would be arthritis, and they would require a low impact sport if they wanted to play it. For example, swimming, as this doesn't put a lot of pressure on on the joints, and make it a lot easier for them. If they did other sports like that were high impact, then this may just trigger their arthritis and make it worse. As you get older, you get weaker bones, so you would need another low impact sport. For example, cycling is very low impact, and it still improves your aerobic fitness quite a lot. Another one could be loss of vision or lack of vision. Um, Therefore, something like an aerobics class or blind cricket could be an option. In aerobics, you'll be able to improve your aerobic fitness, and you don't have to use your sight that much. Even if your sight's kind of bad, you can still participate, as all you need to do is be able to see the general movement of the instructor or hear the instructions. For someone with high blood pressure, it's not recommended that you do high levels, high intensity activities. So it's probably best to do something like brisk walking and something that's not too intense, brisk walking or swimming, to help improve your fitness overall without it being dangerous to your health. The final group is disabilities. And there's many different disabilities that could be labeled contraindications. Some of these being lack of mobility, mental illness, and prosthetics. If you're not that mobile, then a good sport to play may be wheelchair basketball, especially if the problem lays in your legs. This is still a fun sport to play, and you'd be able to still be able to participate as equally as everyone else in a wheelchair. Also, if you have a mental illness that you may not be able to think properly, or may have spurs, or just unable to do a lot of other activities where you may harm other people, a good game to play would be bocce, as all you need to do is aim and use the ball or ramp to take your shot. Prosthetics could be another contraindication, and this may be something that you could use, could still be used in athletics if you have prosthetic limbs, as there's competitions in place for these types of activities. Thank you for watching my 22.2 prescription slide.